Hello, good afternoon. See if this stuff is working for me today. Seems to be, yes. Excellent. All right, I'm just going to take a few minutes to get started. Get ready. Today we're working on our final project for JavaScript algorithms and data structures. We are creating a cash register. Super pumped about that. Pumped to get my cert today. So yeah, give me a few minutes and we will definitely get going on this. Yo, Sophie, what's going on? You working today or what? Excuse me. Well, yeah. What are you gonna do with your day? You gonna play some WoW? Some WoW, the greatest game ever made. Have tomorrow off, so extra long weekend for me. Hell yeah. You've been watching the doc. Well, I mean, that's a pretty good way to spend your day. I honestly, I did some stuff over the weekend and I've had no desire to touch the game to log on this entire week. Because the game is literally, it's a race. It's like the expansions come out and it's like, oh, you gotta be on top of everything, otherwise you're behind everybody else. And I'm okay being behind everybody else. But if you've noticed, everybody else that plays the game, they're all like, yeah. Yeah, so it's just like, I mean, you either play it nonstop or you don't, and then you're not where everybody wants you to be, so they give you shit. And it's like, okay, cool. Glad you've been playing this for how many years, and the game the game hasn't changed. Like, it's like the boss fights and stuff, there's no like extra cool mechanics. It's don't stand in fire, watch out for certain alerts, and do things. Like, that's the game. It's always been the game. I fucking hate it. It's stupid. I'm canceling. Sorry. All right, let's read this. Cash register. Design a cash register for drawer function. Check cash register that accepts purchase price as the first argument, payment as the second argument, and cash in drawer as the third argument. Cash in drawer is a 2D array listing available currency. The check cash register function should always return an object with a status key and a change key. Return status insufficient funds, change empty array if cash in drawer is less than change due, or if you cannot return the exact change. Return status closed, change with the empty, with an array with stuff in it, with cash in drawer as the value for the key change if it is equal to the change due. Otherwise, return status open, change with the change in there, with the change due in coins and bills sorted in highest to lowest order as the value of the change key. Wow. Yeah, I don't know what he was thinking or they were thinking. Like, that's honestly, it's a ploy. It's a ploy. Hey, I'm totally addicted to this game and I spend so much time on it and it's so cool. I want to tell you about how cool it is so you'll come and play and be addicted too and stop telling me how addicted I am. Because it's the best. That's all that is. That's literally what you're going through right now is what every gamer that plays WoW that their friend was like, yo, come play, it'll be great. That's what every one of them goes through. Everyone. Because you don't have time to run other people around if you want to stay on top of everything. It just doesn't work. They think they're smart. They think that they're pulling one over on you, but we got that 200 IQ up in here, so I know. I know. Like, the game is designed to be that way, to make you feel like you have to be there. I feel it even when I play now, even knowing that. Like, when I played it over the weekend, it was just nonstop. Gotta get all this shit done that's gonna be here tomorrow. Brand new stuff anyway. Gotta get it all done though. Hate it. Gross. Alright. Wow, we got a lot to do. We gotta do a lot of stuff with this. So we gotta return an object. Stuff and stuff. Alright. Okay. I'm not even prepared for this challenge right now, to be honest. I was up real late last night, working on that client project that I have, which is going super well. Yeah, and that's not fun. The game alone is really not fun. The game alone is you just trying extra hard to do all the stuff that they're doing anyway. Like, I like competitiveness and, you know, I like all that stuff too, but when it's like gets in the way of you having a good time, like, nah. Yeah, D3 is a more of a, I mean, you can get geared way more quickly, and it's literally, there is nothing. Like, I mean, there's always a better, like, you can always get better gear, but there isn't that sense of, like, you can't join in or whatever, you know? And the stuff is real quick. You can hop on and jump in a rift and get out. It doesn't have, like, all those daily requirements and stuff. Same. I love Greg to death. I mean, he's a real smart guy. But when he yells about getting shot in an open world game from a different angle than the one person that he happens to be eyeing, it makes me just laugh internally, because it's like, how do you, what's going on in your mind where you think that there isn't somebody else around, or that there couldn't be? Like, you should be going around thinking that there's people all over. That's what your mentality should be. Not, oh, I saw this guy, how am I getting shot from somewhere else? What? There's other people in the game, not just that guy. I mean, the game's jacked for sure, but it's not that bad. When you lose, usually it's, I would say it's not so much. I mean, the desync stuff, people not dying sucks, but like that happens on purpose, because if you shoot and your bullet's traveling and they shot first and their bullet hits you first and you die, your bullets like vanish. The ones in the air just vanish and they don't do anything. That's how the game works. So yeah, it looks like you sprayed that guy, but you didn't. Helping Chaco, or watching Chaco, is really, he has a really good attitude. Like, not to like get in that mindset like the game's broken and stuff, even when it is. Yeah, those are goals right there. I mean, I have some anger issues, and I was getting pissed off at like Clash Royale. I think that was more other stuff going on, not so much the game. But it's been better now. Although I got mad yesterday, because I'm trying to get the fucking 4600. I make stupid plays, but that's me being mad at myself, because I'm making stupid plays. Alright, what is this thing supposed to do? So it always returns an object with a status and key and a change key. So we could set that up right now. So status will be blank for now, and then we have our change key. And that's what? That's an empty, that's an array. So we have 3 different possible statuses. I think we're gonna make this template, and we'll just do current status. Is that how you do that? I think I did it wrong. There we go. So we will end up needing a current status variable. And I'm not sure what this one. I gotta read this probably about 5 more times. Check cash register function should always return an object. Okay, I got that part. Return status insufficient funds if cash in drawer is less than change due. Return this if it's equal to the change due. Otherwise, we return this. And we have all these currencies here. So what do we have? Price and cash. Accepts a purchase price is the first argument. So this is how much it costs. This is the payment. So whatever they're buying costs $19.50, but they gave $20. And this is all the stuff currently, all the money that we have in drawer. So let's see here. So we're gonna end up calculating change out of this. So we'll say let change equals 0. Start. Then we're gonna set our status if the change. What do we have first? Is greater. Less than change due is less than. Or if you cannot return exact change. Okay. And this is gonna be a difficult one. I am not. I'm like, I'm half asleep right now. Went to bed at like 3:30 a.m. I really need to stop working on code late at night, I think. Working on that project last night, and I just didn't want to stop. Like, you get in the groove and like you know what you're doing and you got everything in your head and you just don't want to stop. All right, so if change is less than cash available, we'll call this, and we'll set that up right here, and we'll start that at 0. And we need to do a check, so we'll do our double ands here. So if this first thing is true and the second thing, which is gonna be have exact change. So we'll set that up as well. We'll maybe set this to false first. Yeah, plus I'm like excited to work on this. This is basically all me. This guy doesn't have the time to really be involved at all. So I get to build it to really my specification as long as it does what the original site did. So that's cool to me. A lot of times, I don't know, I suggest things to people I work with, and they're just like, no, for this reason, but the reason they give is just not, it's like it's their idea, you know? It's what they think, and it's not really how it works professionally. Like, I've paid, or I've had my boss pay somebody like $300 an hour to give these same opinions, so you should probably like just accept them. Like, I don't know if you've ever been to a site and then as soon as you load the site, like you're trying to go read something and then like you're starting to read and all of a sudden there's tons of pop-ups like, hey, join our newsletter or let us send you push notifications. I suggest you don't do that. But a lot of people love it. Oh, we got people clicked on it, people joined, so it's working. Well, if you did it better and not obtrusive, then like you could probably get more. Exactly, me too. You just don't get it. Like, basically, you're getting the people that you are getting to sign up in those cases are like not loyal customers because they're just clicking whatever to get through. You know, they're or that. All right, so we have our status here, and it's gonna equal. We're doing a Boolean check, and then we're going to, if it does have, okay, this is change. Oh wait, let's see here. If cache and drawer is less than the change due, or you do not have exact change, then status will equal insufficient funds. But otherwise, we're gonna do another check. Turn close if with cache and drawer as the value for the key change if it is equal to the change due. So if there's only exactly the exact change to give them and then it empties our drawer, we close out the drawer. So with this Boolean, we want to see that change is equal to cache. Oh, we need two. Is equal to cache available. And if that is true, we get a status of closed. Otherwise, we get a status of open. So we could log this right now to see what we get. Insufficient funds. And that is because our change oh, that's because we don't have exact change, because we haven't done that calculation. Alright. I need that. Ooh, I need that caffeine. Some peach mango. It's almost gone. It's probably my favorite flavor. I don't know. I have a lot of favorite flavors. I'm running out. I think about it every day that I'm running out. I'm really not running out. I have lots of flavors. They're just not my preferred flavors. So we got, run through them here. We have Phaseberry. Phaseberry's okay. It's just, it's more sweet than sour or bitter. I don't mind that. Blood orange is real good. That tastes like, I don't know what that tastes like. Blood orange, I guess. Still not my favorite though. This golden apple pear I really don't like. Because I wish it was more apple than pear. Watermelon is fucking delicious. It tastes just like a watermelon. Then we got Raging Gummy Fish. Which isn't bad, it's just not great. Blue Ice. Blue Ice, I'm on the fence. I can't tell if it's awesome. I can't tell if Blue Ice is awesome or just okay. Lemon lime, and then yeah, the peach mango is what I have left. I really like the sour cherry. I like the cherry limeade. I like the blue one, tropical something. That one's real good. Yeah, I thought blood orange tastes like something else. Maybe kind of like orange sherbet a little bit. I don't know. I don't know what blood oranges taste like, so I need to order more. I want to order more. I drink this shit every day. It's good. Like, not to even be like a sell it, you know? So I really do like most of the flavors. And I can see why if somebody really likes pear, they would like the pear flavor. I don't know why I got a whole tub. Obviously, I'm dumb. All right. Yeah, it's affordable too. If you get it on a sale, I mean, it's not. There's obviously, if you just drink water, that's better. Like, this is cheaper than me going to the store and buying those little, like, Crystal Light single packets or whatever. I don't know how it compares to Kool-Aid. Probably Kool-Aid's cheaper, but Kool-Aid doesn't have caffeine. And it has a shit ton of sugar. Alright, so what's our next step here? We have our status calculation, we just need the pieces calculated for it. So what is our first step? We need to calculate the change. So this is just addition and subtraction, so I'm not worried about any weird conversions. So we're gonna make, let's see here, change is gonna be equal to cash minus price. So we owe 50 cents. Cash available. Cash available is a bit of a more complicated. What if we did this? I don't want to write a whole thing here, so let's. So we'll say we'll create a count drawer function that takes the CID. So we're gonna create another function. Count drawer. We'll take the cash and drawer, and this is where we'll do all the calculations for that. Right now it's returning nothing, so we can return 0. But what we really want to do. Let's see here. We have the CID. We want to map over them. What do you call it? What is it? Like dominate? Not domination. Like, what would you call the different types of change or money? Currency units. There's a better word for that, I feel like. But we're just gonna call it currency. Denominate? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yep. It's weird that a word can mean such like different things. I guess they're generally. I get it. Yeah. Like unit, it would be a good definition you could use for both of these here. Or synonym. That's a big word though. Let's keep it at currency. Currency's fine. And we're gonna return. Let's see here. We have currency. And that's all the values. Unit could be good too. Unit's shorter. So before we had an array. We had an array like, I mean, there's an example up here. I don't have to type it. Right here. Penny, comma, and then how much in pennies that you have. So what we're doing with this here is we're looking at the array as a whole, but we're taking the first element within it. And since elements or arrays start at 0, so this, to draw this out, it's 0, and we can do that just by changing this to 0. You start at 0 when you're programming. I hear that a lot. But to get the second, we'll do 1. So now we have all of our stuff. Now this is all in dollars. So we could actually reduce here, I think, and we could return. So this gives us 2 different units. It like basically goes down the arrays and gives us each one. And so what we can do is we can just keep adding them together. With reduce here. Not a number. Okay. Did I do this wrong? Well, obviously I did. That's a log unit B. Alright, well, let's look up the reduced docs. See what we're doing wrong, or if this is even... Okay, so they have a reducer here, which takes an accumulator and the current value. Okay. So... the accumulator will start at like 0, and then you add the current value, and then so it does it kind of like what I was thinking, just we could just even name this total, I think is a better word, total, and then this is the unit, and we'll return the total plus the unit value. Are these strings? I think they are. So we need to wrap this in number. That's fine. This will convert it to a number instead of a string. No? What's going on? Let's log again here. So they're all numbers already, so we don't need this. Oh, this takes an array. Oh, that's what we have though. We have an array. It's just not... Oh, we have an array of arrays. So maybe we map first. And we take, let's see here. So we got our units, and we're gonna return the unit value. Let's cut this out. And that worked. Okay, so we have, let's get rid of this log. Oh, I say we need that log, so let's get rid of all of these. So we just have the cache available. So this gives us our array, and now we can reduce it. And that takes, we got our running total here, and then we have unit total. And we're going to take this, put it on its own line. And this as well. Not this. We're going to leave this. Put this part on its own line. Run out of room. And this just returns the total plus the unit total. And we're getting an error because we need to close out this parenthesis. Oops. Alright, so what we're doing here is, if you notice, we're getting this like funky, there's weird stuff when you're doing math with floats, as far as I'm aware. So one option that we have is to first convert all of them to pennies. So all of these units here, you just times them by 100, and then at the end, divide it though. I guess we'll see. We'll see if this works once we run the first test, and we'll adjust from there. So I think that should work now. So 43.50. We could even just do it ourselves. So we have $1 plus 205 plus 3.1. 60 plus 100, 335.41. All right, so we got something's wrong. Oh, Order of operations, maybe? Oh no, this is bad. There we go. Yeah, I had that in the wrong spot. That's better. That's better. All right. What's next? So we've counted the drawer. Next, we have to see if we have exact change. Check for change, and we'll just pass in the CID again, and we'll make another function. And use that once. Ooh. Let me read these. So because JavaScript's awesome, I'm thinking the check for change, if there is an exact change, we will return the empty array from there. So have exact change. Let's just make this be exact change. And we'll shorten that up to so if it doesn't have exact change, we'll return an empty array, and because I think an empty array is falsy. Oh. Okay. Wait, what? It's both. Alright. So that doesn't work. We'll return the array if there is exact change. So if we have some change, oh, we're doing triple equals. Really? What am I thinking? Okay. Um, oh, we could just check the length. So if there's, so we will return the empty array or the array of change. But we'll just check the length, which will give us the number for how many objects are in, or not objects, but elements are in the exact change array. So if it's empty, we'll get 0 back here. 0 equals false. So not 0 is true. Right. So if there is exact change, this would be false. Alright, good. Yep. Okay, so we have our check change. So we need to pass both of these, I think. Change due and the cache in drawer. Alright, so with cache and drawer, it's the value. Change due. So let's look at an example. This first example we have, it should return an object. And the first example should return status open, change order, 50 cents. So open here with the change due in coins and bills sorted in highest to lowest order as the value of the change key. So you need to return, if the highest, it would be the opposite order of this, so we turn hundreds first. Alright, so we have our change due. We need to take the return the CID. Let's log out the exact change up here. So right now we're just returning that. But we want to reverse this first, right? Because we want to start with the biggest bills first. It'd be real shitty if we owed somebody $100 and we gave them $100 in pennies. Don't do that. Okay. So now we need to go through each one of these and see if the unit value is greater than the change due. If it is, we skip it, right? So change due in this instance is 50 cents. Or do we wait to reverse? No, because we wanna... Oh yeah, that was right. If it's greater, then we skip it, right? So if we own 50 cents, we're not going to give them $100, or 20s, or 10s, or 5s, or 1s. But a quarter's value is less than the change due, so we can use that, and then we would see how many times it goes into it, give them that much. If there's a remainder, we move on to the next one down. All right. Oh, Greg, I said, yo. Thanks for hanging out. So we reversed it. We might end up needing a lookup here. Currently, we don't have the values of like what 100s, 20s, and 10s and all that are. So we're just gonna call this units in here, and do we need an array? I don't think we do. So we could just say, and we're gonna copy this so we don't have to type it all. We're just gonna copy this. Let's paste this here and do some multi-cursor magic. Get rid of all these commas. Alright, we got rid of a lot of stuff there. Cleaned that up nicely. We actually did want those commas to stay. And now we can go do some more multi-line, multi-cursor stuff here. We'll just select before each comma, and those will be our keys, and then we will have our values, but there will be numbers. So a penny, 0.01, 0.05, 0.10, 25. I think I'm gonna do the same thing here as I did. So what we're doing is we're just converting, we're timesing everything by 100 so that there is no decimals. So we don't have to do any floating point math. So we have 1 here, which would be awesome. This is the next step up. So 5 zeros. And this would be 6 zeros. Okay, maybe this does need to be an object. What are you mad about? Oh, okay. I'm thinking of a different language. Oops. Okay. That's what happens when you write different languages. Oh, there is no Vim mode in here either. Okay. Gotcha. Gotcha. We're gonna make this nice and pretty because that's how I like it. So we reverse this, and then we need to, what do we need to do? What function do we need here? We could do a filter, and we could filter, let's see here, we're gonna change in pennies. It's gonna equal change times 100. So we can filter and what do we get here? We get the unit and see here, if we turn the unit, we get the same exact thing. So we kind of need to do this same map function. And fuck it, we'll just do it twice, it's fine. If we were doing it 3 or 4 more times, I might say we try to like keep it a little dry. It's fine. So we want to first take all of these and convert. That's not good. Why didn't I get that problem here? We did. See if we even need to do these conversions. What did we come up? So if we rounded that, that's what would we get, but without the conversions. Or with the conversions, we get a more even number. We get the correct number. Right? Yeah. Alright, so we're gonna just keep doing that. Ignore the fact that we have that one big number. So now we're gonna filter to return only unit. Ah, my foot hurts. All right, so we have our unit. And instead of using this, we're going to use an index lookup. So we're just going to and since we are we have the reversed here, so we want to go from the highest to the lowest. So we're gonna reverse this array. We could just use that reverse on it. What? So we're gonna do this real quick so we don't have to use the reverse. So let's see here. If we return the index here, we should get 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Filter, we don't get an index. Let's see here. We do. Oops. See here. Okay, so that's right. So we want to return only items that are less than. So units index. We'll return the units index if. No, we'll return this unit if it is less. So confused. We don't want to filter over this. We want to filter over the units. We're gonna cut that for now. So we have our units. Let's change. 0.5. So that's right. Okay. Yeah, 0.01 times 100 is 1. So I messed up somewhere. Alright, let's redo this. We have a penny, 1. Nickel is 5. 10. Dime, 25. Dollars, 100 pennies, 500 pennies. $10, $20, $100. How did I manage to mess that up? Alright, so we return the unit if it is less than or equal to the change in pennies. So that gives us $25, $10, $5, and $1. So now that we have these, we can we want a map. So we want to map over these. And we're given a unit again. And then what we want to return back. See here. Is there a high order function that lets me... I want to filter, but then I want to stop. If I meet some condition. Alright, so apparently a simple loop might be our best choice here. So we can just terminate kind of early. So we have our units here. Let's we don't want to throw an exception, so let's do a comma here and we'll say usable units equals this. I think this we're gonna shorten up. We're just gonna put a few on each line. We don't need this last comma. Alright, so we have all our variables here. Let's check to make sure. So 25, 10, 5, and 1. Alright, so for let change do is going to be equal to change in pennies and then we're going to continue this loop as long as there is change due. Let's see here. So as long as change due is greater or equal to 0, and if we want to do anything here, so what we're gonna do is change do minus equal 1, so we don't get any infinite loops when we do this. Okay. Corrected change do to equal minus, or is it just that? Oh, okay. Oh, so now it's fine. So in here, let's console log change do. Oh, oops. $50.40. So let's see here. We want to Give me a second here, please. I think that we're actually, let's see here. Index is going to equal 0. Then we're going to do a I plus plus. And we're going to still continue as long as change due is greater than, actually change in pennies is greater than or equal to, let's say, change it so it's more clear. Change due in pennies. So now we want to units in change due is going to equal usable units so change due is going to be units, usable units divided by, now it's going to be change due in pennies divided by usable units current index. Let's just say units due for this, shorten it up. And same for this, we're just going to say change due. We know that it's in pennies. So let's log out our units due to just see what we have. Oh no. So it goes into it twice. We'll also want the remainder is gonna equal change due modulus usable units. We want to floor this. Just in case there's an uneven amount. Okay. So change due is gonna minus equal units due times usable units, the current unit that we're looking at. So if we log change do, not jog, but log. I don't jog. Sure if that was obvious. Okay. Really, why doesn't this work down here? Just now we need to start building. Well, instead of we'll just make another array, not an object, and we'll just type out all these. So we have $100. We have 20, 10, 5, 1, quarter, dime, nickel, and penny. All right. So we go through. And we'll have, let me turns off caps lock here. A change will just be an empty array. And we need to return an object, huh? No, we're returning this, so we need to return an array. So we'll end up pushing the unit unites do. push the unit. What do we need first? The unit name and the current index. Yeah, see, this would just be so much easier with an object. So, boo. We're gonna change this to an object. Does it might not need to be an object, but we might need a okay. So yes to object. We'll put these all on their own lines again. And we will just start cutting and pasting. We need the whole doohickey though. Alright, so we can delete the unit names. Need that comma. Need to put colon here for these. Space this one out. Leave it ugly just because I've already changed this 5 times already. So we have our change array. We are going to does this still work? Where's the error? Duplicate declaration change. Because we pass in change. So let's just say change array here. That's fine. So I just want to see console log usable units. That doesn't work. We could make this an array of objects. Love that. So let's just get rid of these. And the thing is, these need to be flipped. Let's see. Still not happy. But we need to... Let's look here. Object. See you here. Alright, yep. This is what we're going with. Alright.
I just want to go back.
So, okay, now we have all the objects. What units do, math floor change do, usable units. And we need the value here. I think that's how we do that. Let's take a look. Alright, so that's right. We're gonna put this on its own line. So we're gonna push usable units by name and then the value. So we'll copy this. So quarter, so this needs to be used with the usable unit value times the units due, right? So let's look at the change array, just to make sure that we're kind of on the right track. Quarter 50, so that's exactly what we need. Except this needs to be taken and then divided by 100. So there you go. have our array of quarter, 0.5. This will not pass all of the tests. We're going to put this stuff on their own lines. Actually, this can go up here, and this can go down with this. This is going to go through this first example. That's all it needs. Let's look at an example that they have where it returns insufficient funds. All right, so if there's a remainder, it will automatically cycle because change due will not be greater than or equal to 0. So we'll go through to the next unit. And it needs to, let's see here. That unit is then smaller. So if change due is bigger than the usable unit's value, then we can do all this. so I think we're changing this to usable units length, because we're kind of doing the same check here. So if change due is greater than or equal to the current usable units that we're looking at, then we will go through and do all this stuff. But if not, we don't, and then it just goes to the next one. And then this way there is no like chance for an infinite loop, I think. So let's not a number. Oh, well, that would be because we changed this. So after the first iteration, there is zero change due. It goes through all the iterations. Maybe... Does that work? Okay, there we go. So we're gonna put all this stuff on its own line because it's kind of long. So as long as there is change due and there's usable units left to filter over. Keep going. So we passed this test, and that's great. We don't so much pass it, as we have the logic for it. After this is all said and done, what do we need to return the change array. Let's log that here. So we can actually make this exact change. And then let's get rid of this example here. We'll log out this so that we can see the ultimate. We're being returned an object, which is right. So we want change. Let's look at the change in here. All right. Well, actually, we will let result equals this, and then that way we can do a log, and we can do result status, and result change. Oh, that's right. All right, so insufficient funds, quarter 0.5. That's not quite what we want. We should have open. So let's log out all of these things so we can kind of see what's going on. We're using change, cache available, exact change, dot length, and let's just do this so it's so if change is less than cache available, that should be true. It should be change is greater. There we go. So if the change is greater than the cache that we have available, or the exact change length is basically we want to see, we're looking at the length of this, so if it's an empty array it'll be 0, so not 0. So if this function here has not returned anything in our change array, so if it's either of those, then we'll have insufficient funds. The next check we're going to do is to see if change is equal to cache available. It's not, so we get open instead of closed. What up, Sophie? You're back. I'm still here working on this cash register thing. We're getting close, though. Getting close. We're doing work. How's lunch? New PUBG. Loot. Better log in. And I'm so excited, after I finish this, I'll have finished the whole section. So I'll get my next certificate. And then I can move on to some more some different things. Learning some front-end libraries or something. I don't know. I don't know what section I shall choose, or if we'll go in order or what. I want to kind of take a look at them. Yeah, I mean, some of this stuff's pretty difficult, so it does like show that you. I mean, you could just go cheat, I guess, if you wanted. That's against the rules. Don't do that. But I'm sure people do that. I mean, I like going and getting help when I need it too, but I also like looking at it and trying to use my brain to figure out what the fuck's wrong. Yeah. Like if you go look up the answer right away, like I learned that like if you want to like learn something better, that you should always at least attempt to get it right without outside help. Because then like your brain's done the work for it, and like you build more connections in your brain once you do learn the actual right answer, even if you do get it wrong. So it's always good to take a guess. All right, so where are we at here? So we passed this first test, open quarter, and we're given 50 cents. So let's take this next test here and paste in all of the stuff and see what we get. Because I know that we're not quite finished yet, but we're just kind of doing this test-driven approach. So we're given open, and that's right. 20. Hey, what? So it seems close. Do we need to reset I after this? No. Alright, well, let's look at this more closely then, shall we? Let's log the units due here. And the remainder is not a number. Oh, look at that. Okay, we need to do this. Let's look at change due. And also look at change. So this is what we owe. We convert it to pennies. Well, let's also look at usable units I name. And then we need a comma. So it's right here. Am I not getting the right total? So 96.74 is the change that we owe. We converted it. So we don't need this first one because we'll just count from the top. So this is the change original. We're looking at 20s because we go through each one of these and we check to see if the change due is greater than or equal to the usable unit that we're looking at. So since it's 96.74, obviously we can't do return 100 to them, that'd be bad. So 20s is the first one that we can do. How many 20s? We can do 4 20s, right? 420. Right. I always turn on my cam and then I'm like, no, I want to do this other thing that I can't do on cam. Usable units length and change due. I mean, I feel like this should be right. What am I doing wrong? Let's see here. What do they... Let's log out. Change. Oh my. So 96.74. We already knew that. So let's look at all the stuff we put in and add it up ourselves and see what we get. Well, 100 minus $3.674. That's right. Okay. So I shouldn't even need to add these. I'm going to for some reason because I've already started. And I feel like this will show me something. Oh no, but it won't. So 20, 60, and 100. This is how much we have. We don't even need that. See, I didn't need to add that. What am I doing? That's right, right? If you owed somebody 96.74, you'd give them 4 20s, 2, 4, 6, 8. That would give you 16.74 left, right? Right? 96.74 minus 8,000. Yep. So that'd be 16.74 you owe them. You can't give them a 20. The next one down's a 10. You can give them 110. And our remainder is 674. So we have 674 left. Can't give them a 10, we can give them a 5, we can give them 1 5, right? 674 minus $5 is 174. You can only give them $1. We do that. We get down to quarter. Yeah. What are you talking about? Why is this? I'm probably just doing something. It's probably right, and I'm just dumb. Let's see. I'm gonna get rid of all these logs. And we're gonna run the test. See what we fail. See right here. This is wrong. What? Should return your what you want me to return seems wrong, sir. Why would I? Let's see here. 101, 205, 31, 425, 90, 55, 20, 60, and 100. That's our drawer. Status is open. That's for sure. Why would we give them only 60 and 20s? This is wrong, right? Am I going insane? This is the price. This is what they give us. This is the price. And that is for sure 90 something dollars. This is wrong. Somebody did a typo. Something. How? What? See, we got it open. That's correct. That's correct. But our change is different. What? What? Somebody fucking with me? It's wrong. I hate to say like it for so sure, but I'm like 80-90% sure that this is just fucking wrong. This test is wrong. It's not written right. Let's go on to these next ones though. All right, let's see here. Code's right, I'm pretty sure. So for this, you get insufficient funds. And we need to do something here. Looking at change is greater than cash available. I believe if we log this, it will say true. True. So I think that it is. We don't even need to do this because of that check. So let's do this. Change greater than cash available. Put a comma here and change this to not enough change. Still have change due. I feel like we have to do. If change is due here, then we return the empty array, and if not, we return. Look at change due 0. What? So the thing costs $19.50. They gave us $20. We owe them 50 cents, but we have 1 penny. So what do we get here? No, not here. Order. So why would we be given The change due is 50 cents. Quarters, right. We don't have any quarters. So do we have to check to see that we have a quarter? Yeah, because we don't have any quarters to give. So we need to do a check to see if we have any of those usable units. So we have the CID. So let's log that out. Well, we could change our filter. So as long as the unit value is less than or equal to the change due, and it's not 0. Alright, so we don't want to look at that units though. We want to look at CID. So we're looking at the CID. What is the CID? Is it an object? No, it's an array of arrays. So, let unit available. So this is great. Now we're gonna have to do some funky lookup, unless we want to change a bunch of stuff. So we need to do a check to see if this right here is greater than what we have in total unit value can equal this. So we have to do some check to see if the total unit value is greater than, and we need to look at the CID. We need to look into the CID. Let's look at the CID here. Are you mad about? It's because of this if. That's expected. Gotcha. All right. So this is an array. What can we do? A find index. Find is fine because, okay, so find, and we're looking at the unit. Hopefully unit's not used in here. We want to find the unit. There we go. So this finds the first unit. So we can call this current our unit total unit value. You can say unit value. That's gonna remind me later, thanks. Go ahead. So unit value will find this. It will return the first one so we can get the first index. So that will give us penny value 0.01. Is there something wrong? What's wrong? Oh, I see. So, yeah, so we want the number, not the name. So we'll do that. Let's call this total units value, and let's call this total unit due. So we need to change this. Actually, we need to change this. So now if total units due is greater than the total units value, let's change this to available. If total units due, let's swap this, and then we'll put the push inside here. We might even be able to put this in there. Alright. So we get insufficient funds, comma, something. I want to make sure this is a type of array, type of object. The result change, the type of object. Oh shit, Fun Times Ninja, you're the one that said seems correct. I thought that was Sophie Vex. How are you doing today, Fun Times? Okay. So, type of that's undefined now. That's fine. We get nothing here. Alright, man, I'll check that out after I'm finished here. Oh, alright. It's pretty awesome, man. So our change array is an object. Oh, why? Why? uh, well, thanks for hanging out anyway. We'll figure it out. I feel like that should be an array for some reason. Mostly because I set it to be an array. We're using push on it, which is an array thing. Array prototype. Pretty sure it's not on object. Let's see. Yeah, no push. So, what? Change array equals an empty array. Oh. My bad. Okay. Alright, alright. Okay. That's fine. I forget. Yeah. Fortunately, I'm just wrong. talking to yourself does help. That's why I like obviously there's probably shorter ways to do this, but I like to make the variables, like a lot of people like the shorthand stuff where you're not doing variables, but writing the variables out into names that make sense to me really helps. It's annoying sometimes, they get long as fuck, but I would rather it just read like English as much as possible. So this is an object. It's just an empty object. So I think this might actually pass. I don't. Let's run it. Okay, no, it didn't. Oh, I passed these ones. All right, so we're getting closer. The only thing left is closed. Now, I believe on closed, we're not returning anything yet. So let's copy the test results here, the test parameters, paste them in. Okay, so closed. It's closed. We want to return something else complete. We want to return the change, but then everything is 0. Yeah, it is. Stuff's fun. I like this stuff. It's more challenging. It's frustrating because I'm bad at math and this isn't, I don't know. Like, I make money doing this stuff, so it's like frustrating when you're like trying to do it and you get stuck. But, I don't know, everybody gets stuck. But yeah, as soon as like there's like iterations over math stuff, like I'm just like, oh, my brain shuts down. So if this is closed, Fun Times Ninja, thank you so much for the follow, man. It's awesome of you. Yep. Yeah, I had it sucks because I had a follower overnight and I was like, yeah, but then I looked and my count was the same, so somebody followed and unfollowed. Which is weird. Whatever. I'm also really close to almost getting 300 followers on Twitter, which is pretty cool. Up there. Alright, so if we have exact change, we need to push all this stuff as zeros as well. Twitter? Yes, Twitter. Do I have my socials on my stuff? Probably don't, do I? Oh man. Wow, that's real bad. Yeah, it's not hard to find. I'll have to add those on Twitch. That's a big that's a big streaming fuck up right there. I feel like not very good marketing. Thanks for the Twitter follow as well, man. Awesome of you. All right. So what did I just say? If we have exact change, so if change equal to cash available, so let's just make a closes drawer variable here. Will be a boolean. We'll copy this. We'll get our comma here. So if closes drawer, then it's closed, otherwise it's open, and then we can use this closes drawer down here. Else if closes drawer, then we will be returning no, we want this separate, I believe, because we can do a push and it closes a drawer in the same iteration. So if it closes the drawer, this is going to be messy. We don't know what we'll land on. What we could do is we could return all of them and then oh man, how do we do this? All right. So basically want to push everything but the one that we've already pushed, right? So we could go over the CID, and for each of them we're given, let's see here. Now we do other CID stuff. Let's look at that. CID reverse. Probably have to reverse it again. What do we call this? We just called a unit down here. So for each unit, we're gonna push. We want to look at it. If the unit oops. Let's see if I'm doing this right. Log unit. No. Alright. CID. Oh, is this not closing drawer? We're not even getting down here. So there's something wrong. Oh, we don't have close this drawer in that function. Screw it. This is gross, but I just want to get finished this, you know? So we have closed this drawer. I mean, we should. Do we not know? Oh, we might have to add it to the parameters here for it to work. There we go. So it does close drawer. Total units dues, less than total units bill, change push. Like so, right here, if closes drawer, that's true. We're logging out all the units. So now if we do unit 0, 1, oh shoot. We literally just return the drawer. Okay. That makes it a lot easier. If closes drawer, we return CID, yeah? I read that wrong, I think. No, not quite. So we're still passing everything that we were. Let's log this result. Course, object, status, and it's right, of course, results, change. Oh, okay, it's not in the right order. So we can just reverse it again. Let's run and see if that passes. Okay, so we do pass that. So the only one we don't pass is this one that seems to be broken. Is this not working? Big camel. Alright, man. Thanks for the note there. I will end up needing something else after this. Is this... Oh, yes, of course. Alright. Hello. Yeah, so this seems to be working except for this. Let's take a look at the forum. Recode camp. We could have clicked that button. Let's see here. What do we got? Ask for help. Help post on the forum. We'll go to the forum. And no thank you. We'll do search. See if anybody This guy doesn't seem to have the problems that we're having. A lot of stuff. Well, that's a bummer. What is going on? Not cug, bug. Bug. Oh, okay. I think I know what I might be doing wrong. I see why I failed this. Okay. You only have 60/20s to give, so we can't give 80. Duh. Okay. Alright. Alright. I gotcha. So let's go back to this one. Kind of just added it all together and was like, yeah, we have all of the bills. Infinite bills. Alright. So... Did I break something? Yeah, this seems to work. Just this one. Alright. So let's see here. We have to work on this bit here. Units due. Total units available. Okay, I see why it's saying insufficient funds now, because we're getting down here. Oh, it's actually never pushing anything. Alright, so if total units due is less than total units available, change rate. So let's log out the stuff here so we can see it to help us conceptualize all of the stuff. This one wants to be due. And we want to, let's swap it just so it kind of makes sense with the thing underneath it there. So we're looking, we want to see total units due is less than, and it's not, so it doesn't push anything. so what we want to do. No. Yeah. Change to minus total units available here. Does that need to be changed? Are you talking about this one right here? I think we just need a thing for both. The only problem is then we're gonna error out somewhere else, I'm sure. So let's just run this and see if we've broken anything. We haven't. Okay. Where are we logging here? Total units due. Total units available. I think this needs to be an equal though. See that we didn't break anything. We didn't. We're still on this one broken test. Change array, push. Do we ever get here? Yes, we do. Okay. Ow. Let's copy this one. So look at change due. So if we have, what is this example again? $96.74 is what we owe. So I think there's something wrong with the calculation here. Let me look at this. Yeah, because if we have $60 and 20s, we need to times that by 100. To get our pennies. So that worked, I think. 96.74 minus $60 is 36.74. Change to what's this? Total units due 30. Oh, $30. Oh, that floored it. Wait, what? Total units due. Oh shit, no, we get, look at this. Why isn't it logging? Or does it go to the other one? That might be why it's not logging. So what should we turn here? We want status open, 20 is 60, and then 20, 15, 1 quarter. So looks like it's right. Looks like it's right now. Okay. So let's get rid of this log. Let's run the test. See that we pass. We passed. Excellent. Excellent. All right. Yes, that was quite the thing. So let's take a look at what we've created here. I'm sure there's a bunch of stuff we could optimize, but we have our check cash register function. It's passed a price for whatever somebody is buying, the cash that that person is giving us to pay for that, and the current cash in drawer. This final array of every currency unit and how much we have of that unit. So that's this part here. So the first thing we do is we set a status to blank, just to set it up. Probably don't necessarily need to do that. Put it here. Let's see that we still pass. We do. Bodacious. All right. Yeah, it does. So the first thing, we got our change variable, and that just takes the cash minus price. That gives us how much that we need to pay them their change. Our cash available, we've created a count drawer function. So if we come down here to that, that takes the CID and maps over it. And for every unit, we look at the value of the unit because it's passed with the name and then the value. So we just take the first index, which would be the value. We times that by 100 so that we get pennies, the unit in pennies. So for this quarter, instead of $4.25 or $4.25, we'd get 425 pennies. And then we take that and we use reduce, we take the total, it starts at 0, and the unit total, which is the thing that gets passed into reduce each time. It's basically the value that we get here for each item. So it just adds it all up, and then we divide by 100 to convert back from pennies. Because floating point math is bad. And we actually tested it and it gave us the wrong answer when we didn't do this. So that gives us the cash total available that we have. And that is so that we can do a quick check to see if we don't have enough change. And that is just, we look at the change that we owe and we see if that's greater than the cash that we have available. We do a check to see if this transaction closes the drawer, which just looks to see if change is equal to cash available. We don't need that in parentheses, I believe. Let's run this again. We should pass. Great. And then finally we have an exact change variable that uses our check change function that we pass the change, the CID, and whether it closes the drawer. Just so you don't have to do that calculation again within this function. This function is probably the biggest part. It is the biggest part. So the exact change calculates our return part for change here. So the first thing we do in here, we grab our change due, which is just the change times 100. Nope. Okay. Nothing we can clean up there, so we take our change, we convert it to pennies. We have a units lookup table here. That just has the name and the value of $100 converted into pennies would be 10,000 pennies, and so on. And then we have a variable usable units here, and that goes over all of these units, and we filter them, and we only return the units where the unit is available, which means right here we do a check and we see that we look into each one of these and we want to make sure that this value is not 0. If it's 0, that means we don't have any of those units to give out. So we only return a usable unit is if the unit is available and the unit value is less than or equal to the change due. Because we don't want to, if the change due is 90 something bucks, we can't give $100 out, so we don't even use that in the calculation. We just filter it out. And then we have our change array here. And we just kind of set that up. I'll leave that there. And it creates an empty array that we'll push into. And then after all that is set up, we do a for loop. We have our I variable, we keep going until I is less than usable units length. So that just means we're gonna do a for loop. We're gonna iterate over every usable unit, and we'll continue. Only continue also if there's change due left. That way it doesn't, because we have this if check here. So if there is no change due, we just won't even continue. And when we do, we increase our I variable every time. We use that I variable to look into the usable units. So if the change due is greater than equal to the usable units value, then we'll continue into this function here. Where does this end and begin? So all of this is within there. If that's not true, we don't do anything. So let's see here. We have a variable units due, and we just take the change due, we divide it by the value of the current usable unit that we're looking at, and we get the floor of it. So let's see an example of that. If we owed 20 bucks and no, if we owed 15 bucks and we were looking at the tens, we could only give one. So units due here would be 1. Could only give 1 10. Our remainder just checks to see if this is cleanly divided. It's kind of self-explanatory. It sees if there's a remainder, if there's any more that we owe after we divvy out the change for this unit. Then we have total units due, which takes the current unit's usable units value and times it by the units due. So in the example I just gave, we owed 15 bucks, and we were on the current 10s. We would only return that, and then we divide by 100 to convert it back from pennies to the dollar amount. And this is actually so this is the total in units that is due. The total units available, we're going to look over the CID, and we're trying to find the unit, the current unit that we're looking at, and we get the value out of it. So this is the check to see that how many of that unit we actually have available to give out. So if we have no 10, if we owe 15 bucks and we have no 10s in our drawer, we can't give 10s out. So if the total units due is less than or equal to the total units available, we'll push in into our change array here. We'll push that combination in because it wants the name and then how much of that total that we're giving them in dollars. So we'll push that in, and then we do change due is minus is equal to, and then we do the minus of this. So change due is equal to change due minus units due times the current usable units value. So if we give in this example here, if we give the $60, so yeah, units due, this would be 3. This would be the value, it would be 2,000 because it's 20. So our change due, basically it drops each time. If this isn't the case, if total units due is greater than the total units available, then we do something else and we push in what we can, because we don't have enough, and then we minus, we take change due and we minus that amount. After all this, if this closes the drawer, we just return the CID, the reverse. I'm wondering if we could put this up here. and make it still work. Yeah. That might be a little better. Probably doesn't really matter too much. And finally, we look to see, probably don't need these parentheses either. We look at the change due. If there's any change due left, so if this is not 0, if change due is 0, we're going to return the change array, which is what we've been pushing into. So that's like the dollars. We're just like handing them dollars. But if there is change due left, that means that we had insufficient funds, I believe. So we need to return an empty array. Yep, this example here. And that's it. That's it. All right. Well, let's run the test one last time. Bodacious and submit. And that's it. That's it for that section. We have our JavaScript algorithms and data structures certification completed. Let's I'm gonna take a second and peek back in my profile, see if we can't pull up the digital certification that they give out. All right, great. Show certification. Sweet. All right. And we can switch this back now. So here we have it. Make it a little smaller. We've done it. Let's just get a screenshot of this bad boy here. Alrighty. Well, that's all. That's all. We're done. Turn off this other music. We're done. Thank you so much, Fun Times Ninja. JavaScript section there, that was tough. That was tough. So we will it's Thursday. We won't be back. We will be back later tonight. I'll be back 8 p.m. EST for some Clash Royale, if you're into that. Otherwise, I'll be back next Monday, 1 p.m. EST, for some more free code camp. We'll be moving on to some other section. I'm going to look at them off stream and decide what I want to do, whether that be moving on to the front end library certifications or what. Anyways, thank you so much for coming by, chatting, watching, lurking, whatever you do. Thanks again, Fun Times Ninja, for the follow. You're awesome. Thanks for joining the Discord. You're the first. You should get something special for that. And I'll make sure to put my socials up. So yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Anyways, I'll be back later tonight. See y'all later. Peace.